Are we recording?
We are.
Okay. So I'm just going to start off with general direction stuff. Try and get him connected with me. He's hesitant to go forward still. Yesterday I worked on his emotions, so I don't want to just get started on working on his emotions today, because I don't want him feeling like that's the drill, that he's supposed to get all emotional. I want to try and keep him somewhat calm and listening, and then we'll start to escalate a little bit and see how much he can handle. So right here, he's not pushing. He wasn't feeling that energy on his hip. So a little slow to go. Again, he's not feeling that energy on the hip. So let's start out again, see what we get. Let's go out. Energy on the hip. Again, slow to go out. So he's having troubles with the hip. So we're just going to focus on the hip. Now, he's getting emotional. So we're just going to focus on the hip. There. So he seems to got it. Let's try it again. And transition. Nope, he don't. So we're going to focus on the hip a little bit more. Take him out a little bit, back to the hip. Take him out a little bit, back to the hip. Okay, hip seems to be working now. So now I'm going to center him up. We'll try it again. See if he goes by. When I transition to the hip, will it go? Slow to go, so something tells me when I transition to the hip, yep, he won't go. So there's a disconnect somewhere along the way from when I ask him to start. Yeah, this will probably let it work. Yeah, you see how I noticed that right from the start? It's so when we're having an issue and we're trying to get something out of a horse, and the simple thing that I'm doing is just a plain, easy drill. It's just super, super simple. And it's a directional flow of energy, basically a dance. And it should be just very simple and matter of fact, right? But when we ask them to just move over and get started on a circle, and this kind of stuff starts showing up, and they have a hard time going forward, and they don't want to step out away, or that is an issue with emotions clouding the brain and not being able to get them all the way back to the hind feet. And so when we can't get them to rock back and move over, they won't go forward or move the hind end over, right? That's all the hind end. So his emotions are affecting his brain in a way that he can't get those signals to the hind feet. And one might say, well, you were talking to the front end on the move over. He's got to rock back and have his weight and shift. He can't do anything without his hind feet. Everything starts in the hind. It doesn't matter if he's side passing, backing up, driving forward, turning on the haunches. Everything comes from the hind end. And so we have to have clear signal path from the brain all the way to the hind feet. And it just showed a minute ago that he did not have that. But when he did rock back, shift over, get started, I knew right away that when I was ready to stop him, that transition was probably, I wasn't 100%, but I was pretty sure, because of what I got then in the beginning, that the ending was going to be good too. So I just wanted to put that out there, because there's a lot involved, and most people don't recognize the connection between what was happening in the beginning and what was it's the same problem, you know. And just like if if he doesn't go on the trailer. It's the same problem we were just having right here. It's not the trailer. You know, he doesn't really have a problem with the trailer. You know, he just doesn't necessarily want to go on, but yet he followed you on no problem when you had a cookie in his face, right? So the trail is not the problem. His problem is understanding what is needed from him, you know? So right here we're back to the problem. You see the head's up, you know, he's pushing that chest out. He's having a hard time going forward. So when I transition, it might not be good. That's not bad. That's good. So it didn't completely go away. Good, that was nice. You see how he shifted right out there, kept a nice bend in his body. His head was still a little high, his nose was still a little forward a little, but the movements were all really nice. That's not so good, but you see how he's shifting. His body is shifting, right? Now right there, his head kind of came up and he didn't want to come back right away. There, now he's following my body. Can you see how connected he is? Okay, so that's what we need. We need them connected in a way that whatever we do, they're reading it and recognizing it. And if they understand it, they'll just go along with it. Lost the hind end there, so we're going to keep doing this until the hind end's there. That was nice. Not without emotion, but it was nice. That one's better. Front end stopping a little too abruptly when I shift, though. We should, that's better, much better. You see how that he's shifting out a little bit as he turns? I kind of need that in this situation anyways, because we're working really close. If he just pivots and, you know, if I'm, hold on, buddy, hold on. If I'm this close and he just pivots, his nose is going to be pressed right against my chest. So when I start the pivot, I kind of need him to shift a little sideways before he finally turns. That way his nose isn't like this, you know? So we kind of need him out there a little more. So now if he turns, he can stop his feet because he's far enough away. But when I'm in like this, oh, I can't get close enough here. Yeah, all right, here we go. When I'm this close, I kind of need him to drift a little bit and then turn. That way his nose is out there and I can reach and pet him. Right, and so he's doing pretty good. He pulled a little slack on me when if you can watch the rope, I don't know if you'll see it here, but if you can watch the rope in my hand here, my right hand, when I push him out and then I turn to start, so he just dragged about 3 inches of rope there. He didn't take any that time. Didn't take any of that. He's right connected right there. That was beautiful. Right there, he's taking some. He's taking some. I got to readjust. Yeah, he's taking some, taking some. I got to readjust. So there's something about going in that direction. That's better. Whoop, lost his hind, lost his hind. So we're gonna push on that hind for a few because I lost it. It's not, there we go, now it's flowing. And so when I do that, when I feel like I've lost the hind and I stop following the hind to get hind end disengagement, it's kind of side passing a circle is how I look at it. How I know it's good is when the distance never changes and he flows at the same rate of speed as me, right? Because if I end up getting close to him and then he gets further away and then I end up close again, or that's not connected. He's locking up and resisting, then he feels a big push. He goes a little too far, then he freezes out there again or slows up, so that's more resistance. We don't want the resistance. So when we send him out, we want that connection. And so here, I'm into the hip. See how I'm getting close? Now he's flowing. Now he's matching. So we want to make sure we recognize that when we do that. And I know you tried this stuff, and didn't work out all that well for you. But it's not because you can't do it. It's because you're not used to how it works. And the horse you were working with, they say he's stuck here, so we're going to really push in. I'm letting that rope slide. If he pulls it, it'll slide through my hand. I'm going to let that rope slide because that tells me how good he thinks of me, right? If he's real nervous, he's going to pull that rope and it's going to slide and he's going to get further away. I'm going to let him do that, but I'm going to keep encouraging him to come back through my body language. That way, he has the freedom to choose to be away, but yet I want to be able to still encourage him to come back. And I want him to choose that. You know, so I'm going to do everything in my power to make that nice for him. And that's leaving the rope alone. So when I send him out and I come back here, I'm asking him to come back. He's stuck. So I might have to push big. There we go. So now I'm just going to stay on the hind. Good job. Okay, so now I'm going to send him out and come back. Hind end stuck. There we go. Now his front end stuck. Hind end stuck. There we go. Front end. Hind end. And so I'm just going to transition back and forth here until, see, every time I go to the front end to get more and then back to the hind, yeah, that one worked. So every time I'd get the hind end, it would come. But then when I transition back to the front to get a little bit of a go out a little and do a little more forward movement, when I transition back to the hind, it would get stuck. So I kept transitioning in and out to the shoulder, to the hind, to the shoulder, to the hind. And notice my right hand's pushing on the hip. My left hand's pushing on the shoulder. My right hand pushes on the hip. My left hand pushes on the shoulder. And notice my feet. My left foot and left hand, right foot and right hand, right? I match. And it's not always like that. But in this situation, by matching my hand and my feet, that makes my belly button do the right thing, right? Because if I step here with my right, my belly button's pointing here, not where I want him to go. But if I step here with my left, now my belly button's pointing in the right direction. So I can send him out. And if I step here with my left, I'm still driving him forward with my belly button. But if I step here, he's still going forward. But if I step like that, my belly button goes backwards towards the tail. And it makes more sense to him because my directional flow of energy is now over here instead of here. When I go like this, it's driving him forward. But when I go like this, right? And I use my hands too. Because when I go like this, it's easy to keep this hand out here because for me, anyways, I always keep my hands centered. I don't reach to the side unless I need to just kind of give a little flick, you know? So, and that allows me up here, when it's time to go this way, if this sweep doesn't work, I can use my right hand to kind of push and guide. And then when it's time to stop, I can turn and really line up to push that hip around. Okay? So he's doing pretty good here. So it's time to turn up the pressure a little bit, work some emotions. I know it's going to get hot here, so I don't want to stress him out too much, and I don't want to get him all sweated, but I want to work in a much faster pace now. You behave yourself. Okay, and so when he gets goofy, I'm just going to make fun of him. You get out. Thanks for the assist, boy. Hey, enough. Enough. You can yell at him, but keep your distance. So there's a little bit of chaos. He seemed to handle it okay, considering he's goofy with nothing. We just want to be able to keep moving. So right there, I did hold my rope instead of letting it slide because I wanted him to kind of run into it, but I let it go as soon as he did, just to kind of make sure he doesn't really drag it through my hand. Right? Okay. So now I'm going to just walk and see if he's willing to kind of just stay with me wherever I go. And then we'll do some more of that. But I want to let him. So he passed me. I'm going to fix him. And then I'm going to walk. Now I'm going to test him. He passed me, so I'm going to fix him. It's enough. Go away. Okay, so he lost his backing altogether. We were getting some good backing, but for some reason he's lost it altogether. He just wants to shoot forward. So let's work on that. So here I'm just using the fence so that he doesn't have the ability to get out and around me. And he has to be kind of held accountable to what this rope is doing. And now that we did that, let's see what he can do in the middle of the... Good job. Good job. Right? So we really got to get those emotions under control. They're just a little overwhelming to him. And so here I'm just trying to go around him, but yet keep him in a way that he's not blocking or not trying to run across my energy in the direction it's going. Just kind of teaching him to be with me. Okay, so now I'm going to switch sides, but I'm going to switch sides by going down his left side. So I'm going to turn around, switch hands with my rope, and I'm going to walk right down his left side and get him to transition into his left eye. I mean his right eye, I'm sorry. What is this? Piece of slate. Come on, buddy. All right, and so I want him to stay on my left side, and I want to be able to back up and do all the stuff that I was doing. So right now, I don't know if you noticed, he was kind of backing in this direction. So by me coming around to his nose, I'm pushing on his hip, moving his shoulder over to try and get him to understand that he should have been backing up straight. And not a reprimand, just move that hind end over, move that hind end over, move that hind end over, right? So I'm pushing there. Now it's moving. So now I'm gonna get lined up with the fence here, and then I'm gonna back. Oops. He went forward, so I'm gonna fix him. And I'm gonna stop backing. So now I'm gonna push him closer to the fence and just keep him backing. And every now and then I might touch him with the rope just because he's getting sticky. And so here his head's ahead of me. So I'm not going to take a step. I'm going to ask him to go back. Now I can start walking. Whoop. Now he's not continuing. So I might have to continually swing the rope. Good. Now we'll go forward because I know he wants to go forward. And we'll give him something he wants. Now we'll ask, do you still remember what to do? He does, so that's good. So he's trying to get in the other side, which is pretty normal. So instead of turning around and fixing it, I'm just going to keep pushing on his hip until he puts me in the right eye. So if I lose him, and I'm going to kind of let it happen again, he's going to end up on that side. If I lose him, I might lift my hand up and say, get over here. If he doesn't come, I'm just going to start circling this way, push on that hip a little bit while I'm walking, and that'll get his nose right next to my left elbow. Super simple. You just start a little bit of a circle. Let's stop. Let's back. Good job, buddy. Good job. Okay, so now I'm going to send him out. Start a circle. Up. No, I'm not asking for a backup. Thank you. And let's see how the hind end works. And let's see how the front end works. And let's see how the hind end in this direction works. Front end again. Forward. Now see he's pulling a lot of rope. I'm just going to let it go. Let's take him out again. See what happens. So he's a little stuck there. He's taking the rope. He's taking the rope. I'm just going to come back to the hip and say, please come back to me. When he does, I'll start reeling in the rope. Right? And so I'm setting myself. He's taking off. He's taking off. He's running away with me. Now I have to hold it because I'm at the end. He didn't pull. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to set myself up so that if something should happen and we're out in the real world and he decides to go somewhere, no matter what, whether he's feeling emotions or you know, he's got something else on his mind, if he's going that way and I decide to start going this way, I want him to change his mind and come with me. I know he's got a rope on and he knows he's got a rope on and he does feel this rope. But the less I can use this rope, the more I can use my directional flow of energy to talk to him, the more likely it is that he'll come back to me if I drop my reins when we're leading, or if I'm leading him across the pasture and I drop the lead rope. Okay, so he's having trouble. There we go. Good. You know, we want him. He's having emotion, so I'm just going to kind of I'm going to get real busy here for a second just because of his emotions. He's settling. Now, I just put my hand up, let him know I wanted to pet him, not keep chasing him, because what I read inside his mind was he thought my hand was telling him to go. So I stayed put to give him a moment to figure out what my new intention was. Well, what my real intention was, because I never meant to push him. He thought I did. And that's what he thought my intention was. So I needed him to find what the true intention was. Okay, so right here, he's running away with me. I don't know, you can't really tell, but I could feel him running away with me. And again, he's running away with me. See my belly button's here? He's running away with me. So I'm going to push, push, push. Let's try that again. Running away, running away. Right? So we kind of need him to come back. When we shove him out, this is the disconnect. We're trying to say, disconnect, but come back. We want him to come back a lot sooner than that. We want him to come back as soon as we do this, right here. Boom, he should be coming back already. That was better than the last one, but he's still quite late. Here we go. Much better. I did lose a little bit of rope, probably 6 inches, 8 inches. Good job. Good job. Okay. So I'm going to give him a big push. Good. He went a little, but I gave him a big push to go. The rest of that sliding of the rope was just momentum and the weight of the rope. That was nice. Very good. I like that one. So let's go back to this side, because this side is not as nice. See how he's already trying to leave me. So I'm going to play with some emotions here as if he goes, and right here, as soon as my belly button lines up with that hip, if I don't get a response and he's still driving forward, then I'm going to start acting funny. Make fun of him, basically. It's getting better, but he's still wanting to hurry off quick. You see, he's still wanting to drive forward. So maybe I'll just stay here and say, okay, maybe you like this. Let's work on this a little bit more. And, you know, it could be just motor skills. Maybe he needs more practice at this. You know, and if that's the case, then we'll do it like this. He looked a little choppy, and it still could be emotions getting in the way, but he looked a little choppy. So, and again, I'm going to let that rope slide. But I want to really talk to that hip and address those emotions at the same time. I'm watching for anything that might tell me he's got an injury, or, you know, that we're doing, but I don't see that. I just see awkward, uncoordinated, and irritated. You know, he's got some emotions and a little bit of irritation. So I'm looking here But my peripheral is watching up here. But I'm just not, there we go. I'm just not staring at it. Because if I stare at his head, then I'm gonna create more emotion. I want to talk to the body parts that need to move. So that's there. I'm looking right at this right here. And I'm watching through my peripheral. Now there I held the rope. Not something I would normally do, but I needed him to understand. There we go. Good job, buddy. Good job. So he keeps wanting to cut back to his right, my left. So I'm going to keep this up to keep him thinking that side. There, that was nice. You want to poop? Go ahead. And so there's some nerves here. Keep them going on that side. Move that hip. Move that shoulder. Move that hip. Come forward. Move that shoulder. Move that hip. Hip. Shoulder. Shoulder. So when he gets goofy, the flag matches his energy. So whatever I want to talk to him, this is just a signal. It's a gentle signal. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Right? And if he gets goofy, the flag picks up the pace as much as he picks up the pace. I don't want to overstimulate him, but I want him to realize I need you with me, and I'm going to be with you no matter what. And I want to prove that to him. When he goes somewhere emotionally, I'm going to go there energetically with him. I want him to understand no matter what he's going through, I'm there for him. I'm with him. And even though this is emotion, this is emotion, we need him to understand that everything can be nice and quiet and calm and wonderful as long as he's paying attention. Good job, buddy. Good job. Right? And so the dogs are basically doing what I do with the flag. Right? They're adding stimulus until he calms down. When he calms down, they just stop. Right? So, and so when the dogs come in on a situation like that, and then I tell the dogs to go, so I get out. Right? That kind of lets him know, hey, he's got control over those guys. Good job, buddy. Right? And so now it's getting pretty hot. So I want to work on his emotions, but yet I don't want to overstimulate him and get him all sweaty. But at the same time, we got to get through this. So I'm going to try and just be smoother. We're going to go the other way for a little while because I'm sure. Get that. Right? So I like that. He came down. It's not going forward enough. There we go. Let's take him down. Come across. Hey, too much pulling. Too much pulling. Too much pulling. Too much pulling. Good job, buddy. Right? And so when I'm asking for this energy and he's given that energy, when I'm asking for it, then I don't add extra with the flag because I'm asking for that. This is going to help him understand when I need more out of him or when I'm gonna do something when he does too much. Something's gonna say, I don't want all that. It's kind of like if I want a nice easy trot and my horse is really extending and bouncing and it's miserable on me, I gotta have something that'll say, I need a better trot than that, a slower trot than that. I don't want that speed. Same thing if I want to pick up a canter or a nice gentle lope, but they go into a full gallop, and I don't want that. I have to have a way to say I didn't want that. You know, everybody pulls back on the reins. That's not my way of doing it. I don't like to use my reins at all. If I do use my reins, it's the last resort. Nothing else was working. So I want to make sure he understands when he's giving me too much, I'm going to tell him it was too much somehow, some way. And a lot of times it's going to be through an audible noise or a physical exertion. So in this situation, if he starts getting crazy, I'm going to go a little faster with the flag. You know, when I'm riding, if I get too much of a speed, I'll use the same verbal noises that I've been using all along with him. Either shh, something like that. And that is my way of saying, you're giving me too much. And kind of I'm making fun of them for being too. Good job, buddy. Good job. Right? So here he's emotional, but he's fully in control. He's not overdoing anything. He's not acting goofy. Head's a little high, nose is forward. He is running into the rope a little bit, and I'm having a harder time letting it slide now that my hands are a little sweaty. Okay? So I'm going to end here momentarily. I just want to get that head a little bit more relaxed. I want him comfortable. All right, see there? He got locked up. He got locked up emotionally, right? He wasn't overdoing any. He wasn't overdoing it. Like right there, he got stuck again too. So when they're locked up, that energy's building inside. So I'm going to treat that as the same as running off. You know, I'll start to add energy to say, hey, you're overdoing that resistance there. Right here, we want this speed. I want that nice little trot. See how he's getting nice and relaxed there? Nice. Talk to that hip, talk to that shoulder, talk to that hip, talk to that shoulder. Okay, so that was a little too much. Do that again. That was okay. Let's change from here and see what happens. Nice, good. All right, okay. So I'm gonna quit here. I think this is a good place to stop. I think he had a decent amount of stimulus. He is a little warm, got a little bit of sweat in his ears. And it's only getting hotter, so I'm gonna end right here. What do you think, bud? Huh?